Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Two Peas in a Crime Pod. This is my mama, Kelly, as always, the beautiful, wonderful, researching, hardworking bad bitch of the show, of the production.
This is my wonderful, lovely, smart mouth daughter who comes in not knowing what we're going to be talking about on the cases. And she's commenting live and she's got lots of funny, great, wise things to say that we love to hear.
Debatably wise, usually funny. Maybe that's debatable too. I think I'm funny.
We all love her. She's the life of the podcast.
There you go. So if you've never joined us before, welcome, 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 welcome. Like and subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you. Thank you. I love you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you to our subscribers. You guys are wonderful. Regardless, leave a comment. Let us know. We're open to criticism. We're open to foreign languages. We're open to whatever.
Absolutely.
We'll take the time to read.
We appreciate you.
Translate, comment back. So let us know what you think. And don't forget to tell your friends, tell your moms. Mom.
Daughter.
What's today's case?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if you heard about this. It's a movie. This is a Farrah Fawcett movie they made into. And it was also a book.
I'm going to say no because I don't think I've ever seen a Farrah Fawcett movie.
Really?
Farrah Fawcett movie.
Okay.
Never. I don't think. I know who she is. I know the hair and the flip and the layers.
Yeah.
The shag.
From the Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's it. So,
okay. Well, she played our character amazingly. Fixing that. I don't know why. Today we're going to be talking about Diane Downs and the murder of one of her children and the attempted murder of two of her children.
I don't think I've ever heard of this. That name's not ringing a bell.
Okay.
So, news to me.
All right. Well, let's get into it then.
Let's do it.
Okay. This is a really good case. I mean, this woman, sometimes moms don't have a motherly instinct in their body. This woman never should have been a mother, never should be allowed around
Any
children.
animal can get pregnant and have a baby.
Or people. She shouldn't be allowed around people. There is something wrong with her.
Yeah, I've said this a million times before. Any animal can have a baby. It does not make you a parent. Yeah. It just does not. It is not a title that is just granted upon you.
Animals are better parents than this woman.
You have to earn title.
She can't even be related to an animal because...
Am I sad that we live in a society that pushes being a mother as the end-all be-all on women? Yeah. Am I sad in a society that makes other options, and I don't just mean like abortion, but like contraceptives and things like that more available? Yeah. But there always is adoption. There always is the fire department. You know, if you're a mother and you're struggling and you're at the end of your ropes, put your pride away. Ask for help or take the baby somewhere. Just take the baby somewhere and be like, here, to a fucking neighbor.
Yeah.
To the fire department, anywhere. It is valid to be overwhelmed. It is valid to be stressed out. Ask for help before you do something that you will regret. Or if you're like this terrible person who you seem to be leaning towards is just inept of feelings, you won't regret it.
Yeah, no.
But, don't be afraid to ask for help. But, there are a lot of mothers who do things, and I don't necessarily think that they are evil to their core. But Some people really are. And if you see a situation where you have an inkling that children are in danger, or that a mother or a father, a parent, whoever is taking care of them is not doing a good job, say something. Call someone. Call.
Oh, for sure.
Call. Protect children at all cost. Be an
Yeah.
advocate for children always.
Yes.
They do not have voices. They do not have the means or the ability to advocate for themselves.
No.
So say something before it's too late.
Yes, please.
You know, maybe you call and nothing comes. They come and they check. They say things are fine, but at least you did your due diligence. At least you never have to wonder, what if I would have called? So that's my little plug before we even dive into whatever the fuck you're about to tell me, to just protect children.
Yeah, it's very important.
Don't hurt children. Don't hurt babies. Yeah, they cry a lot and they shit all over everything, and it's a lot, and you haven't had sleep and your hormones are fucked up. It's a lot. But ask for help.
Yes.
Just say, I need some fucking help. Just
Yeah.
take your kids somewhere.
All right. Shall we talk about this crazy woman?
Tell me about this crazy woman that's going to make me sad.
Diane Downs. So, on the night of the 19th of May, 1983, it was a dark rural road outside of Springfield, Oregon. Is it Oregon or Oregon? Oregon.
Tomato, potato.
Okay, Oregon.
I say Oregon.
Okay. Diane Downs was driving home after sightseeing with the kids at night. And there was a bushy-haired stranger that flagged her down. And the man demanded her car, and when she refused, he shot the kids. And then he shot her in the left arm.
Right.
And then she played dead and was able to drive to the hospital while he was distracted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because when a man wants to take your car, he shoots your kids instead of you.
Right.
And he only shoots you in your left arm. If you're right-handed.
Right. Just. And if he wants to take your car, you don't try to speed away. You just sit there and you go, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And
when it's nighttime and you have 3 babies in the car, you stop for bushy-haired strangers.
Right.
On a dark rural road in the middle of nowhere.
I often take the kids sightseeing at night when you can't see any of the sights.
I know, that's the best
time. Prime sightseeing time.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless it's Christmas lights. What the fuck?
Exactly.
Maybe you can see the Aurora Borealis from Oregon. It's closer to Alaska than here. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe she thought she could. Hey, let's go and see if we can see the Northern Lights, guys.
Yeah, I don't think she cares about showing her kids anything interesting or exciting at all, besides a gun. So what struck police immediately as wrong is everything, but let's talk about it. She arrived at the ER driving 5 miles per hour.
Obviously in a rush.
With her blinkers on and calmly. Witnesses said she appeared oddly composed, not panicking. Nurses recalled that she focused on protecting her arm a lot.
Save! You have to save my arm.
Unfortunately, Cheryl was already passed away. She died in the car ride to the hospital. And Christy and Danny were near death. The detectives noted that there was no blood spatter that matched her story. And she had...
Like from the trajectory of someone outside the vehicle?
Right. She had no obvious mother's instinct about them at all at the hospital, or she did not immediately ask if they were alive or they were okay, and that was very alarming to everybody. Yeah.
Couldn't even fake for a second that she gave a fuck.
Oh, she is a batshit
not
crazy
for 1 second
psycho. So Cheryl who was the middle child and the one that passed away, was 7. Christy Ann Downs. It was Cheryl Lynn Downs was her middle name, Lynn. Christy Ann Downs was 8. And she survived, but there was a lack of oxygen to her brain, and it gave her what was basically a stroke. That's what happens to people that have stroke. She didn't have a stroke, but because of...
It deprived her brain of oxygen for a certain amount of time that the brain became not active in that part and didn't regain activity.
Right. So she was a stroke victim, and it impaired her speech.
From 8 years old on.
It impaired her speech for months. She had to learn how to talk again. And then little Stephen Daniel Downs, otherwise they called him Danny. He was only age 3. This is going to make me cry.
I already started tearing up. Already. As soon as you said 7, I already... Ugh, okay.
He survived, but was permanently paralyzed from the waist down at age 3. So yeah, this woman is
They don't normally get to me like this.
Oh, this one's hard. This one's really hard.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, there's going to be a silver lining, just to let you know.
Sure. Okay.
I know.
Jesus Christ, if you're going to shoot your kids, shoot them in the fucking head and make sure it's a done deal. First of all, don't. Obviously, I'm saying don't. But
just the fact that these little kids saw their mother shoot them.
Yeah, and then you did such a poor and shitty job that they didn't even die. They were just in fucking agony and then suffered the rest of their lives because you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. I can't even talk about it. I really can't. I don't want to discuss it because...
And I'm not... I said if you're going to shoot your kids. Obviously, what I'm saying is don't ever fucking do that ever, ever, ever. But I'm saying, like... Why would you do... Where were you aiming? What were you doing? Why? Yeah. I don't know. This is going to make me nuts. I have to stop talking because I'm going to try to reason this and you can't. And it's just upsetting me.
I know. I know. Let me go on.
And the dog's upset now too. He can feel the vibes. He's upstairs barking, or she is.
Clover's having a freak out. Christopher moved.
Is alive, so the dog's mad.
Actually, I think my Amazon arrived.
Give the dog a second. Clover, shush it. Shush up. Shut up. Okay.
All right, that worked. All right, let's talk about Cheryl Lynn Downs. She was 7. She's the one who passed away.
Okay.
She was born in 1976, and her dad's name was Steve Downs. That was their second daughter. She was known as the most independent. She was the outspoken one. And she was very emotionally intuitive of all of the 3. She's the one that challenged Diane the most.
She's my second daughter. She's my Lindsay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Relatives said Cheryl was the first to clearly sense Diane's malign behavior, often saying she didn't like mom's boyfriends too. And Cheryl was reported by family to be the frequent target of Diane's anger because she resisted control. Diane allegedly slapped and spanked her more than the others. On the night of the shooting, Cheryl was shot twice, once in the back and once in the chest. She died in the car before reaching the hospital. And her autopsy confirmed a close-range shooting consistent with an interior shooting, not somebody standing outside of the car.
Right.
Well, then let's talk about Christy Ann Downs, who is age 8. So she's the oldest. She was born in 1974.
If you hate kids, why are you banging them out one after one? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Pull out.
Yeah, in this case, it's because she's only all about herself. And kids were, somebody is supposed to love her, not the other way around.
Right.
So she's the oldest child of Diane Downs. And Christy was often described as sweet and obedient and emotionally cautious. She was very close to Cheryl. They often confided in each other about Diane's temper. and she survived the 2 gunshot wounds, but she suffered a massive stroke from oxygen loss to her brain. So she lost the ability to speak for a long period of time, and she required intensive rehabilitation efforts. But once she recovered language, Christy became absolutely terrified of Diane.
I hope as soon as she fucking woke up, she was like, my mom did it. It was mom.
Well, to be honest, the therapists were very cautious when questioning her about the incident because they didn't want anything to...
You don't want to re-traumatize, and I totally understand that. I was just hoping that as soon as she woke up, she was like, get mom the fuck away from me.
They didn't want anything to slow down her recovery and her focus on that.
Yeah, the high amount of stress would only do damage. I completely understand. I meant totally of her own volition, that she just...
She's not that kind of a girl. Cheryl would have. Christy was different. So it took her a while and it was hard. But she finally disclosed that it was her mother who shot her and her sister and brother. So she was the one who broke the case. Because otherwise it was a bushy-haired stranger, which the police didn't believe. But the prosecutors waited until she was stable enough to testify then before they arrested Diane.
No, absolutely.
Let's talk about Stephen Daniel, otherwise known as Danny Downs, age 3. He was the youngest child of Diane Downs, and he was described as easygoing. He was very attached to Christy, and he was very dependent on his sisters. Danny was shot in the spine, which left him paralyzed from the waist down. He ended up requiring lifelong wheelchair mobility and reconstructive interventions. There was ongoing medical care funded partly through victim assistance. Danny does not recall the shooting due to age and trauma.
I would assume. Yeah, so, that's very young.
And
there's the trauma of it alone, but he's also was very young.
He did grow into adulthood with independence and vocational work because he had love and support of his adoptive parents.
That's wonderful.
Yes. But yeah, let's talk about the investigation. So the suspicion of Diane began at the hospital on May 19th. Diane drove up to Mackenzie Williamette Hospital very slowly with the hazards flashing. The staff noticed that she has no maternal panic. She was totally focused on her arm wound. Police clock inconsistencies within minutes. Her story is changing wording after every telling.
I wonder if she thought they were dead.
She doesn't ask about Cheryl's condition. And she's just speculating loudly about the bushy-haired man. The ER doctors note that 2 of her children were near death and 1 was already dead, and Diane had a superficial arm wound.
Right.
So
everybody else got a chest or center mass shot.
Right.
And she got shot
barely in the arm.
Yeah.
This is superficial. So the detectives keep her car and search the interior immediately. It's a crime scene, you know. The crime scene of forensic contradiction. So forensics review destroyed Diane's hijacking story because the blood spatter and the bullet trajectory indicated that the shooter fired from inside the driver's seat.
Right.
There was no sign that Diane ever exited the vehicle and no foreign fingerprints or drag marks or scuffle at the site that she claimed this happened at.
Right.
The crime scene reconstruction showed that the kids were seated and shot at close range. The muzzle orientation pointed backward from the driver's seat. Investigators immediately began treating her as the primary suspect, not a victim. And she didn't like that.
I'm sure she didn't, but fuck her.
Right. So Diane willingly sits for interviews with the detectives and the reporters because she thinks she's the smartest person in the room.
Of course.
And she smiles and jokes and flirts with the detectives and flips her hair, flirting. And she reenacts the shooting with dramatic arm movements. By the way, Diane is a very attractive woman and very sexual. So she uses that to get what she wants with men, and it usually works.
Right. Not this time, bitch.
When she's reenacting the shooting for the detectives, she's very dramatic and using these big exaggerated arm movements, and she's putting on a show.
Yeah.
Most disturbingly, she speaks at length about her own pain, but barely mentions the kids. And the detectives really see that she's enjoying the attention more than trying to give details that would solve the case. The number of consistencies just continue to mount every time she tells the story. But so they videotape her. The detective, the prosecutor in charge of the case, is like, I want this recorded when she gives what happened.
Yeah, give her the rope and let her hang herself.
Yes. And the prosecutor was very, very good at doing that. And he said he wanted it recorded. Well, she's laughing at her mistake. She's like, oh, I can't. She's got a bandage on her arm, like an arm cast.
Right.
And she's like, oh, I can't open the door. And, she's making these little jokes and laughing while she's describing what happened.
Right. Like it's...
No normal person would be able to
Nothing
laugh.
is funny about this.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Exactly.
I make a joke about absolutely fucking everything. And if I'm telling you that there's nothing to joke about, there's not one fucking thing to joke about in this situation.
Right.
Like,
yeah, no, you said it. So, for instance, her inconsistencies. She said first that the bushy-haired man demanded her car. And later, she just says he just walked up and shot everybody without saying anything. And then the timeline of the drive grows longer with every retelling because she is realizing in her head, oh, I said it happened at this time, but then I didn't arrive at the hospital till this time. That shows I was driving slow.
right.
So she has to rearrange what she said to make the times match better.
Right.
So investigators, okay.
When she can see that look on their face, like that's not adding up, she's like, fuck, like I gotta.
Let me rethink this. Yeah. There's a motive that emerges, and his name is Robert Nick Knickerbocker. He was a married co-worker to Diane. Nick says Diane was absolutely obsessed with him, and she wanted him to leave his wife. He didn't want kids. She had 3. Diane constantly complained that her kids were in the way of them being together. And he ended the relationship just before the shootings because he didn't want kids. So detectives then find Diane's diary with letters in it to Nick. And they were all about romantic fantasies. And then there were ultimatums. And then when he finally broke it off with her, they were all about anger towards him. But that they concluded the key motive was to eliminate her children because the man she wanted to be with didn't want kids. So,
as you well know, I've tried to date people and found out that they didn't want kids. And you're like, oh, okay, well, fuck you then.
Normal people would be. Yeah, or if you absolutely loved Nick more than your kids, just call your parents and say, hey, I don't want my kids anymore.
Take these fucking kids. Go dump them somewhere, right? Like the orphanage or something.
You could.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill them or
Right.
maim them for life. Yeah. So let's talk about this bitch, Diane Downs. She was born August 7th,
This bitch.
1955 in Phoenix, Arizona, as Elizabeth Diane Fredrickson. So she came from a conservative, highly structured household. And her local reputation was that she was attention-seeking. She was approval-hungry and boundary testing from adolescence. So her parents were strict, and she claimed during the trial that her father sexually abused her.
The fuck does that have to do with anything?
Her father denied it, but she did it to be manipulative.
It's neither here nor there. Even if he abused her whole entire life, like, that's totally terrible. And I'm like, sorry, what the fuck does that have to do with shooting your own children? Go shoot him.
Part of the defense, she acted very bizarrely. All of her reactions were not what you would expect. So she's got all the hospital staff and the police testifying how weird she acted.
Yes, classic antisocial behavior.
The defense is trying to say she's just a woman who was raised with stunted emotional ability to speak. She didn't learn how to express herself normally because of this abuse that happened to her. And so that's why her reactions are so bizarre to a regular person, not because she's uncaring.
Oh, okay.
That's what their defense was.
Okay.
So that's why that comes into play. But in high school, Diane rebelled very hard, and she did things like cut her hair. She changed her clothing style to stuff more slutty, and sought male validation. So she acquainted, is that the right word? Sex with love?
Why can't I think? Because my brain is just mush right now from the story.
I know. She equated.
Equated is the word. Yeah. Equated.
Sex with love.
Right. And I don't care. Girls, put your tits out. Like, I don't care. Like, rock your body. But, like, please, for the love of God, don't do it for a male's attention. Just do it for yourself if that's what makes you feel good, or if that's how you want to express yourself. But
good point.
Don't make it about the boys. They ruin everything.
Yeah, very good point. So during this time, her grades dropped, and she did go to college, but she was expelled from Pacific Coast Baptist Bible College for promiscuity.
Easy for you to say.
And that was a humiliation she never forgot. So she was another one that couldn't take being humiliated. But yeah, apparently you can get just expelled back when she was in college.
Yeah, if you're going to a school with certain rules, like even Malone around here has certain rules. You're not allowed to have, I don't know the exact rules, but I remember being told by certain friends, like, you can't have boys in the girls' dorm or girls in the boys' dorm. Like,
they're a Christian college, aren't they?
Yeah. And you're not supposed to be, if you can keep it on the down low, like, they're not going to kick you out. But if you're making a scene about it, or it's getting talked about, or it's getting back to, like, the administration.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're breaking their code of conduct. When you go to that school, you agree to their code of conduct.
Okay. So yeah, she was expelled.
And it's Baptist. So yeah, I'm sure that they had a strict code of conduct about promiscuous behavior. And
definitely. Well, they definitely did. So she ended up marrying Steve Downs in 1973, and she was only 18 at the time. So very young and very impulsive. The marriage was described by both of them as volatile, jealous, and unstable. So not the greatest. Diane frequently accused Steve of having affairs while she pursued her own affairs.
Yeah, projection. Yeah.
And they had the 3 kids in rapid succession. And then Diane constantly complained about motherhood limiting her. Well, think about those kinds of things. Most people that have babies want to be mothers.
Yeah.
And don't see it as a limitation.
You mean this little baby who is completely dependent on you for everything is not giving you space to let your freak flag fly? Shocker.
Right. I love the way you said that. Steve reported that Diane hit the children and raged unpredictably. You could never tell what was going to set her off. And after 7 years, their marriage collapsed in 1980. So Diane had a pattern in her relationships, and it started with infatuation and then moved to obsession and then moved to control, followed by rage if she
The
was
control was
rejected.
tested or rejection. Yeah.
Yeah. So she had multiple affairs, often with married men. And friends described her as needing to be the star of every room.
Yeah, it probably made her feel better to get the attention from somebody who she shouldn't have been. Not just an average man, but a man who was choosing her over his own wife was probably
Probably a turn on.
better.
Yeah.
It fed into the supply more that she was looking for.
Very good. Yes. Well, she became
superiority, and
they said she became unglued if she wasn't admired. So it really bothered her if everybody didn't just fall over if all the guys didn't fall over themselves.
she had no other way of feeling validated or feeling
Exactly.
energy or creating her own energy source.
That's what it is.
And she wasn't getting anything out of motherhood because a little baby's not fucking doting all over you. They're puking all over you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yes.
being a mother is oftentimes thankless if all you're wanting from it is literally a thank you, you know,
An admirer.
You're not going to get it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So she gave interviews later describing, and she said she described sex as her primary emotional lever. So she knew it. She knew where her power was, where she thought her power was.
Yeah.
And then there was when she met Nick at the post office where she worked.
She went postal. Got it.
Oh, Nick described Diane as manipulative, sexually intense, and persistent. And then when he tried to end the affair, she wrote endless letters. She called obsessively. She actually discussed eliminating obstacles like his wife and her own children. And then her motive theory by the prosecutors was that if she got rid of her children, Nick would come back.
Or they'd never be in the way again. At bare minimum.
That's true. But no, she was head over heels for Nick.
Yeah,
she wanted him back.
She was still in that obsession stage.
She did this thinking she could get him if they weren't there. So her view of motherhood was very telling because she routinely complained about the children, saying that they were in the way, they were holding her back, and they were ruining her fun. Babysitters and neighbors said there were frequent emotional outbursts. And she often left the kids alone. And then moments of outright physical discipline right in front of them. And that Cheryl appeared to be her primary resentment target.
And you know, whatever somebody's willing to do in front of you is worse when you're not there.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing things that are alarming to you, that's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. I'm sure those children were very disturbingly punished and treated
neglected.
Terribly. Yeah.
Yeah. Just left to their own.
As
devices.
for her self-image, Diane saw herself as very attractive and desirable to men, as she did believe she was smarter than others, and she exhibited classic narcissistic traits, which were grandiosity, low empathy, attention, addiction, and rage at rejection. In interviews, she framed herself as the victim of fate, the victim of media, and the victim of men.
Why are people so stupid? Dude,
Why are they so sick?
Why is a person admitting that they want to have sex with you? People just like to fuck. You know? It really... Why does it make you feel so special to be sought after in just that way? Now, is it nice when you find a partner and there's like an emotional intimacy and like a real connection and you can talk and you can laugh and there's all of this and you click sexually? Yes, I'm human, obviously. It feels great when everything's working.
Uh-huh.
But just to like go in and flirt and they immediately know like, oh, she's willing. How does that make you feel special for more than 6 seconds? Like,
right.
And then how many times do you do it before you're like, I just kind of feel empty. Like, that was fun, but it's not really worth it. But I guess that's how addiction goes because I guess you would say the same exact thing about meth. Like, but true. People keep doing it, you know, and that's what it's that dopamine rush that you get. It's that rush and then you seek it again. And it's those little bits of those tiny spikes.
Yeah.
And that's how addiction works. Those tiny little receptors in your brain feeling good for a second and then immediately being like, I need more. And not like slowing down to think about like, how can I get a long-term, long-lasting source of good feelings?
They don't understand
it's like
that.
it
They don't
just
understand how to create that, how to
what it
have
feels like, where to seek it out, what it is. All they know is just like, well, that little bit felt great, so I'm going to do that again.
Yes.
But I'm just saying these people that think they're so smart, like I'm the best there is and I'm so sexy and stuff. Like, dude, that guy used you.
Yeah.
He got what he wanted too. And then he went away. And your little post office boyfriend rode you a few times and then was like, okay, I'm good.
Going back to my wife.
Yeah. And you can't deal with the fact that it was exactly what it was, which was a quick ride.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I just don't understand people, and not all of people that do that. I know so many people that live that life that never harm anybody, that never fucking shoot their kids or go nuts.
Oh, yeah, right.
But I do know a lot of people who live that life. And it's just like sad. Find happiness within yourself. Find happiness.
It can be done
through your own creation.
Get some counseling.
Yeah, yes. Stop seeking validation through sex, through others. Even if you're a lesbian and you're seeking through another woman. It's not about a man. It's about seeking it through these shallow, emotional, physical experiences. Stop it.
Yeah.
This bitch is just a fucking psychopath. I mean,
well, her behavior during the investigation, Diane displayed no panic in the ER, as I said. Her statements to the press were wildly inconsistent and focused on her own image, and she would blame idiot cops. And investigators described her affect as performative, not parental. So she was just putting on a show, but didn't display any actual parental type concerns, emotions, reactions.
Right.
Her actual behavior made it worse because, as I said, she shamelessly flirted with detectives and she'd giggle in interviews. When she was on 2020, she smirked while she was reenacting the shooting motions with her bandaged arm. And she made bizarre statements such as, if I hadn't been shot in the arm, I would have been more dead. In other words, he could have shot me in the heart. I mean, she would just say these things that didn't make any sense. She was bizarre, and.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. She referred to her own pain more frequently than the children. And then while they were in the hospital, because they did suspect her, they barred her through Children's Services from seeing the kids.
Good.
But
it didn't seem to bother her.
Oh, it did.
Oh,
it bothered her big time. Not because she gave a shit about the kids, but because it made her look bad.
She just didn't want to be told. This reminds me of the McDonald's story. We did that 3-part episode 7.1 to 7.2 and 7.3 on the McDonald family. And it's eerily similar to the husband in that story where
that's right.
All he talked about was that he had been savagely attacked.
When he hadn't.
And he had these superficial, stupid wounds, and he just kept inflating the number of times he'd been beaten and stabbed. But he had like one physical mark on him to his arm that he gave himself or his body or whatever. And he wasn't asking about them or asking how they were.
Right. And then after they were all dead, he just moved on
with his life and still like did interviews, but really didn't talk about how sad they were. Just talked about how hard it was for him, and not even like losing them was hard, but just like, I got attacked and now everybody accuses me. Like, just poor me.
Yeah.
It is very similar. In the hospital, everyone was like, why isn't this guy sad? And why isn't he asking about his family? And or he did once and then was just like, oh, they're dead. Okay. So what's up, guys? Like, just moved on. Like,
Yes.
just bizarre reactions that don't even show a dissociative state or just show that you don't care.
That's right. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And they're very similar.
Yeah.
Diane and his
Go
name
check
is
out
Jeffrey.
Check out episode 7 if you haven't yet. It's a 3-parter, but it's and they also made a movie off of that crime as well. Fatal Vision. Very good. But yeah, check that out too. If this story, very similar stories.
Mm-hmm. Well, when she was barred from seeing her own children, she quickly got pregnant with another child. Yeah. So she shoots her 3 kids because they're barring her from having the life she wants, and she can't be with Nick. So now she gets pregnant. Probably because they know that she has motive, and now she's trying to make it look like, if I didn't want kids, why would I get pregnant? And also because I'm not allowed to see my kids, I'll just have another one.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah. It's never about she loved children.
Oh my God. I hate to say that I believe in castration. I just feel like somebody should have taken her uterus from her.
Yeah.
That's a slippery slope conversation.
I know.
Maybe I ultimately just wish she would have fell down a flight of some stairs, like onto some bullets. Go on.
All right. Well, the ballistics showed it was a .22 caliber handgun. And Diane was actually known to have had a .22. But she denied owning such a gun, even though records showed she did.
Which is weird. Like, why would you deny? Like, it's all fucking Americans own a gun, and usually a .22. Just be like, yeah, I have it. It's at home. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
right.
Denying it is more weird.
She was more weird. So they finally, arrested her and pressed charges. And the prosecution's saying she shot her children to remove obstacles. Her true love, Nick, testified against her. He said she was very possessive and she wanted his wife out of the picture, and that she had told him that her kids were a burden. This is interesting. So this is one of the weird things she did during the trial. So apparently she had a cassette player in her car and her Duran Duran tape was playing. And at the time...
Don't ruin Duran Duran for me, Mom.
Sorry. At the time of the shooting, Hungry Like a Wolf was playing. And they played that tape, the whole song, during the trial. And she just sat there dancing and bouncing her pen with the beat. And she claimed that was our favorite song. And I'm always going to think positive things when I hear it and think about my children in a positive way. You're not going to ruin this song for me.
Nobody's ruining Duran Duran for me. Not you, not nobody.
Right. So.
Okay, bitch. Duran Duran has to publicly come out and be like, excuse me. No.
Yeah.
Stop listening to our music.
Right. Yeah, stop. But Christie's testimony against her really basically sealed the case.
Yeah, it's hard when there's an eyewitness, which is the person that you tried to fucking murder.
I guess she broke down sobbing when she told the jury that her mom shot her, Cheryl, and Danny. The courage that little girl had to get on the stand in a courtroom and say directly with her mom sitting there staring at her what happened. She is a strong little girl. And especially with her personality type, because she's not the type that's...
And she's the one who watched her sister get beat so many times, and she's the one who watched her sister get two shots.
Yeah. So that was hard for her. But, of course, the jury convicted her.
It's so sad that that's our system that's needed.
Yeah, it is.
to put her through that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But she was prepared. Let me tell you, the prosecutor absolutely loved her and Danny, and he and his wife adopted them.
The prosecutor did?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The prosecutor cared about
I
them.
can't imagine there was probably a line of people that were like, let me take these poor fucking babies.
Yeah, but the prosecutor had been working with the therapists and did everything that he could to put Diane away and make sure that, Christy.
I can't believe that it didn't become a conflict of interest. I mean, obviously he must have adopted them later.
He did. It was later. But yeah, he did everything to make sure that Christy was not further traumatized, that he could.
Yeah.
So he made sure that she was ready to go on the stand and didn't move until she was. And yeah. I mean,
poor
obviously he wanted to put Diane away immediately.
Of a gun at her own mother. Like,
yeah. Terrible. But the jury convicted her. She got murder and attempted murder and assault. And they sentenced her to life plus 50 years. So the aftermath, Diane Downs continues to give interviews claiming her innocence.
I'm sorry. If you kill your children and you're convicted of murder, you should lose your First Amendment right. Like, a part of that sentence should be that you lose your First Amendment right to free speech or speech at all, speech to the press, speaking out. You should just have your fucking mouth duct taped and gagged for the rest of your life.
Well, no, not her, unfortunately. She escaped prison in 1987 just to go be with a guy, and they caught her 10 days later. But she just wanted to go out and be with this guy. And they had to transfer her multiple times for security because she would, try to find ways to escape. So
why are we not euthanizing this person?
I know, right? Her first eligibility for parole hearing was in 2008, denied, and then again in 2010, denied. She's unlikely to ever be released.
I was kind of pissed to hear that you said that she was even eligible for parole, but I kind of love the idea of her getting all psyched up and then having it denied repeatedly and she spends her life in jail. I kind of love that, but yeah, I don't even see how parole was ever even a fucking option. Like,
I know. I don't either, but it was. But
you know who's going to show up to every fucking parole hearing? Her fucking kids.
Well, she continues writing letters now blaming government conspiracies. That's her biggest thing. And she has weird conspiracy theories. So her baby girl that she was pregnant with after the killings.
Yes.
Amy later was renamed Rebecca, and they call her Becky. She was born in February of 1984, and that was before the trial had ended, but they immediately took her away from Diane and placed her up for adoption. And she grew up as Rebecca, and in adulthood, she publicly confronted her origins on Oprah. There's a whole,
episode
about it. And she struggles with the genetic factor, that whatever was wrong with Diane could be in her or be passed down to her children.
And I think even worrying about that or having it on your mind present and being upset that could be something that's fated to you shows that you're a good person from the start.
Oh, I agree. And
do you think that Diane ever fucking worried that something was wrong with her?
Yeah, no.
Or had any fucking self-awareness or reflection? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, this girl, she's got it together. And she shows curiosity about Christy and Danny, and
she was robbed of having a brother and sister, a brother and two sisters.
A brother and two sisters, yeah. She has contacted Diane in prison and immediately regretted it. I guess Diane didn't respond with, "Oh, yes, I'm your mother, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you," and the kinds of things you'd like to hear your biological mother say.
Right.
How is your life? Tell me about yourself. Do I have any grandkids?
I got shot in the arm once. I'm stuck in prison.
Diane was all about these conspiracy theories, asking if she was part of the conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just absolutely
This fucking woman is just
horrible.
awful.
She's horrible. She continues to claim innocence. She writes letters talking about secret shooters and conspiracies and government setups. And she shows no remorse, persistent narcissism, and a risk of reoffense, which is why the parole board keeps denying her parole.
Yeah, what would your fucking limits be if you're willing to kill your kids? Do you have none?
No, exactly.
That's
So there's no active relationship with Christy or Danny. Thank God. They don't want anything to do with her. And
sure. Yeah.
Diane frames them, all of her children, as being brainwashed by the prosecutor, that they talked them into.
Oh, it's probably some sort of problem stemming from lead poisoning.
Could be. I mean, right?
From the bullets that she certainly didn't shoot them with.
Right.
This dumb bitch. I mean, what does she think that while the daughter was in recovery, they went in every day and they were like, you have to tell them that your mom did this. You have to tell them that your mom did this.
Well, I mean, that's what she's trying to say they did. Does she think we'd all believe that?
And what was the ultimate goal? To throw one woman in jail for her whole life so a prosecutor could adopt kids that had been trauma? Because the prosecutor just really wanted to be a fucking hero and he needed kids that had been through something terrible.
That's it. Yeah, right.
So he staged a shaggy-haired man on the side of the road to fucking shoot this family. Shoot them and paralyze them. Don't kill them. This is very important.
All right.
Almost kill them. Tell the mom to drive slow with their hazards on. Shoot her in the arm only. We're going to frame them all. I want a little paralyzed boy. That's my dream.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. Diane, smartest person in the room. But the post-trial life of the kids. So Christy and Danny remained in protective anonymity. And they totally refused contact with Diane. But they both thrived educationally with the Hughes. That was their name, the prosecutor's name. And both grew into very productive private adults. So that was the silver lining. They finally got the love and support and care that they needed to become,
okay. Well, they did okay with part of their brain not working and their entire lower half not working.
Yeah. They really...
But that's neither here nor there. Despite having those problems, they still chose to
be productive members of society.
Yes, live their life and excel. And they had every reason to be like, I don't care about school. I don't care.
Right.
And do nothing. And just go on disability and just float by. And I couldn't say I'd blame them if they did. I can't say I would, but
they were so love and protection and care and normalcy was so not there for their lives up to then.
The security that they felt was
enough to just make them thrive.
Yeah.
I mean, that love and attention and somebody actually caring about them.
Yeah.
Just gave them wings,
Yeah.
to really survive and thrive instead of what could have been, just more devastation.
Right.
Because obviously the dad, their actual father, didn't want custody.
Right.
So, which good, because he wasn't a great dad anyways.
Maybe the best thing he ever did as a father is let somebody else adopt them.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that means you are a big and selfless person to be like, you know what? I'm not right for this job. Somebody else should do it. There's no shame in that.
I agree. So the whole ordeal spawned the book called Small Sacrifices by Anne Rule. And then it inspired the TV movie called Small Sacrifices, starring Farrah Fawcett. And you can actually watch the full movie if you.
I wonder if it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. So Small
I'll add it to
Sacrifices,
my list.
full movie. You can watch it. It's really good. They changed the names, and there's theatrical things that didn't, necessarily happen, but that they just made.
They
the
embellish a
movie.
little, man.
Yeah, but it's really good. I mean, it's pretty spot on how it depicts everybody. So,
What an awful case.
yeah, just an awful, horrible person. And she went to prison. Ha ha ha.
Fuck you, bitch. You're exactly where you deserve to be. And
Other people are raising your kids and doing a hell of a job. And they're grown up and they don't give a shit about you. And
yeah, I'll see you in hell, bitch.
yeah. So that was our story for today.
What a story.
And
I was crying.
I know.
Yikes.
It was hard. That
was a rough one.
But thank you. If you stuck around this long, maybe leave a red and a blue or a pink and a blue heart for the surviving children, and maybe leave a purple heart for Cheryl, who passed away.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And a yellow heart for Amy. Or
Definitely.
Becky, who got born into a clusterfuck.
Yeah, right? Ugh.
Yeah. But made her life her own.
That's right.
So good on the surviving children that all went off and didn't let that moment define them, and that still found a way to navigate this life. Because life is hard for everybody, but I think it's pretty fair to say that they had it the hardest. So,
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.